All right, hi everyone. We are doing our virtual lab here. If we were in lab, you guys would be doing this experiment and collecting all this data yourself. Instead, we watched our YouTube video that shows them how we got this data, and we're going to now practice the skills of using Google Sheets to create our own graphs. And Google Sheets makes it really easy to make really nice graphs so we can see our data in a nice clear pattern. So what our first step is, we are going to highlight our data. So our data went from 0 to 40 minutes, and we have both our soil temperature and our water temperature. So once it's highlighted, we are simply going to go to Insert Chart, and it's going to put it in as a chart. All right, it's as simple as that. Our data is now graphed. The hardest part is typing it in, which I actually did for you, right? But we want to make sure this graph is maximized so we get the most use of this. Google Sheets already automatically made it a line chart for you. And you can see that over here. If you don't like it as a line chart, you could do something else. There's all sorts of options. Right? It doesn't make sense to do a pie chart, but it does give you those options. We want to keep it as a line chart, so make sure yours is a line chart, and we're going to leave it that way. If you look here, it already tells us what our x-axis is. It's time, and it gives us our series. All right, and so Google Sheets is pretty smart, does most of it for us. We want to do some customizing, though. In order for us to customize, we already agree we like the chart style. We already like, but we do want to change our axes a little bit. So we want to go here and let's change our title of our chart, because our title of our chart, we're looking at heat capacity, right? So let's change it so it says heat capacity of soil versus water. We don't really need a subtitle. Our horizontal axis we already like as time. We could add that this is as minutes, because it's always good to put our units in. But we do want to add our vertical axis. So if you just click here to vertical axis, we can put this over here, and our vertical axis is temperature. And it is Celsius, right? And that should be good for our title, so we can close that. The next is our series, and our series is the actual data that we're plotting, right? And we can see that it puts it right here at the top. If you want this someplace else, like I don't really like it here at the top, so I'm going to say I want to put my series, sorry. I want to put my series, I want to change the color, right? Because it doesn't really make sense that soil is blue. Very often you associate water with being blue. So let's change that. So let's go to soil and let's change that color. Let's change that color to red, or soil. Wait, let's make it more of a soil color. All right, let's make it a brown color. And that changes all this. So that looks good. We got our soil as our brown. And let's change our water. So I just go back up here and I can change that, and let's make that blue. So now our series are easier colors for us to see. So I can close that. The legend is this actual bar up here. It automatically puts it at the top. If I don't want it at the top, I kind of like it maybe on the right. I'm going to put it over there. That way it's easier for me to see. The horizontal axis, I think we're good with, right? It goes from 0 to 40 minutes. We're not going to change that. So we're going to leave that, and we can just open and close it. But I do want us to change our vertical axis, because our vertical axis is going from 0 degrees Celsius all the way to 40 degrees Celsius. And if you look, our starting temperature over here was only about 24.8 or 24.7. And so we have a lot of blank area here. So we can manipulate this. And the way we can manipulate this is when we go to vertical axis. I'm going to go to this minimum, and I'm just going to put in 24. We can leave the maximum because that's going up to 34, but you can clearly see now our trend line's a little bit clearer. We can close our vertical axis, and I think that's our completed graph. But we have all of our data graphed in a way that's easy for us to see, so we can see how both water and soil heat at different rates over the course of 40 minutes. Thank you, guys.